Ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching, you have just seen one of the most exciting fights.
One of the most exciting fights. Support moving from the fighting area.
We see our next group of fighters coming out. SUNGHYUN, big punch.
A huge look at that punch coming.
Good catch, and he completes Joe.
1 minute round between these 2 minutes. It's super fast.
Both fighters missing big punches there, but
look at Joe hanging on.
Yeah.
Well, he knows that Padua has to bring the fight to him. Actually pushed out. 10 seconds left. Padua feeling that his best option.
We saw him yell to his fighter. I think he wants to make sure his fighter is awake here and paying attention. Look, he just lost grip on that arm. He thought he had it, and you see his hands come together.
Move out of the corner. And Joe has shown us.
Wow!
And Padua is able to hold on and not be pushed off. He comes, as you pointed out, a silver medalist, so he knows his way around the lei tai.
Joe,
and he looks like
no.
Joe goes down.
You know, sometimes swelling in that first round.
Well, he definitely needs some support.
Yeah.
Moving from the fighting area.
Yeah. We see our next group of fighters coming out. SUNGHYUN
Out of this morning session here at the 15th World WUSHU Championships mark. And our platform referee from Kyrgyzstan.
Big punch. And what we're going to start to see as the days move on, now on our third day of 4, is that there's no more easy fights. Not that there were many in the first day, but we're starting to distill down to the cream of the crop, the best out there. And so these fights are getting tougher and tougher for these fighters, and they've been through more.
So for our viewers at home,
this
is a huge look at that punch coming.
Good catch, and he completes for a 1 point, looks like. Yes.
1 point takedown.
Red down first.
Padua. But both fighters, low scoring round so far, lots of exchanges.
We've seen Korea become a very strong competitor in sanda over the years.
In our last World Championships for adults, and to your point, Mark, we saw some of our really exciting bouts involving Korea in these weight categories. And
well, actually, in last Worlds, the 14th World WUSHU Championships, Joe of Korea was the silver medalist. So Padua is standing in there with the medalist. Right now, Joe up on points. Kick looked a little low, only one judge scoring it, and looked closer to the knee, which does not score. Good counter hook from Red to stop the flurry of punches that was coming at him.
And that was an intense flurry of punches from Joe.
Very good punches from Joe. Caught Joe reaching for his kick, so he was able to land a few punches grazing, but lower scoring round than some of the other fights, but concise victory for Korea's SUNGHYUN Joe.
One minute round between these 2 minute, 1 minute break between these 2 minute rounds for our fighters.
Korea obviously known for its sport of Taekwondo, and we know that the kicking is good, but also many excellent boxers boxing programs out of Korea, and their wrestling game is the thing that's really been impressing me of late. And you have to have that if you're going to come and do well in sanda, and obviously a Korean team knows that. With Joe showing some of his best technique in that last round from takedowns.
Well, for those countries that have really shown their prominence in sanda, their fighters demonstrate a complete package.
Yeah, they understand how to cross-train, and they can't just be a one-dimensional fighter. It's too many options for their opponents.
Joe is showing us that among his strengths, his speed
Yes.
is perhaps his speed combined with his strength. Very strong technique. In addition to fast technique, he's able to reach in with his feet, but his hands are super fast.
Both fighters missing with big punches there, but
Look at Joe hanging on.
yeah. Padua still only up on 2 judges' scorecards, or scoring on 2 judges' scorecards.
It's hard to
Now
imagine
he's starting to get
when
on
you
some
look at
levels.
the exchange that these guys have had within the first 45 seconds of the bout. Joe forces his fighters to bring his opponent to bring the fight to him. Look at his footwork that's constantly circling around.
Yeah. And that quick stutter step as he chooses when to throw that lead leg. He's messing with his opponent's rhythm and their reaction. So quick stutter steps, and he sees if he flinch, it makes it harder to know when the kick is coming out.
Well, he knows that Padua has to bring the fight to him. Actually pushed
Wow,
off
good
the
push out
platform.
though. That's Padua's
like he
best
thought-
move there.
He thought that he had sort of held
Yeah,
out
beating
for
the clock.
enough time.
Yep.
Padua
And
trying to get another.
did exactly what he had to do there. Hang on
Yes,
to one arm.
Padua's job is to try and get this to a third round.
Yeah.
Joe a little bit too savvy for that. They have 30 seconds left with Joe in the lead. He's tied on 2 judges' scorecard. No points gained for either fighter there. Padua hoping he can push
Wow.
Joe off the platform.
Wow.
Look at Joe
Wow.
showing his tremendous ability on the platform.
Did you see him roll his shoulder underneath his opponent, essentially try to run out the back door? But he was in trouble.
10 seconds left. Padua feeling that his best option
Oh!
is off
That's
the platform.
And that's twice. Unbelievable. Joe looks in shock.
Joe and his corner didn't believe
His-
that
His corner is upset. We saw him yell to his fighter. I think he wants to make sure his fighter is awake here and paying attention. Look, he just lost grip on that arm. He thought he had it, and you see his hands come together to try and hang on and do what he did the last time there. He's in disbelief. You can see the disappointment on his face. He does not want to be fighting a third round. I wonder what we'll see from Joe. Is he going to come out on fire? And will Padua be able to come out and put something together?
that's the question you see. Padua, we're deep into the 3rd day of competition. That pushing takes a lot of energy out of you, especially
Yeah.
when you have such a skilled opponent.
Well, and it seems like Joe lost focus. He should have known that Padua, that was his only option. Padua was down on points. He was basically cornered by this. Oh, I missed what the admonishment was for. But now I'm sure after being reprimanded by his coach, he's told to stay in. But now Padua using his hands, he knows he's got an opponent that has to stay in the center of the ring. So he's
Well, he
landing
knows
some
that he
shots.
needs to use his hands because Joe doesn't look winded. Even if he looked winded at the end of that last round, he looks like he's coming out on fire now.
Yeah.
So thank goodness Padua is on fire also.
Yeah, we're
Both of
gonna
these
see.
opponents motivated.
Seeing a good third round.
That's
where,
right, a deciding round. And look at the
Good kick.
hands from Padua.
Yeah, Padua is actually up on more scorecards, but Joe making good gains as well.
The exchange of those punches, as you pointed out, Padua just slightly
Joe
ahead.
should go for a push out here if he can, but I believe that Padua knew he was
Hopefully
edging
Padua
close.
will see that unless he gets Joe off balance.
Padua just got another good punch there.
Yeah, both of these opponents really scoring. That
There.
roundhouse kick
Nope.
scored.
Oh, yes, it did.
Yes,
On some
there's an
judges.
exchange of punches.
Joe
Padua
needs to get those body kicks. That was
Needs
glove.
to move out of the corner. And Joe has shown us.
Wow.
And he gets an off platform.
And
Padua will feel a little bit of motivation for that.
Padua's got to be feeling good. He's
got
up on points on 5 judges' scorecards.
But
And
45
got an
seconds is a
off-platform.
lot of time.
Yes.
A lot of time for fighters at this level. Joe, as you pointed out, a silver medalist, so he
Good.
knows his way around the lei tai.
Good hook. Joe.
And he looks like,
No.
and actually Joe goes down.
Wow. We are watching Joe.
But they're both deep into a very, very tense and draining match.
Yes.
If Padua's able to hold on and not be pushed off, he
There.
comes up.
Joe gets one, but he looks exhausted. What?
Yeah, he
we
does.
have 24
You might see
seconds
Joe
left.
try and push him off, and
Either
there's
opponent
Padua.
goes off.
Yep.
That's it.
You see, 19 seconds. Padua better come back to the middle of that lei tai.
Yep.
Joe is going to try and push him off.
Oh, he almost fell out himself. Padua just sacrificed himself to the ground knowing he wanted to
15
lose
seconds,
the point.
but Joe is
wants to be
tight.
on
Joe
him.
wants to.
Joe's
wants
going.
To, and it looks like Joe goes down.
No.
No score.
We've got 11
seconds
left.
and 2 exhausted opponents giving
Tangled.
us everything that they
Wow.
have there.
The whole crowd is on their feet here.
Everyone is into this match. Let's see
Big
what
kick.
happens. Padua getting some technique
Breaking.
out. 7 seconds. Padua still ahead on 4 judges' scorecards. Let's see what Joe is able to mount. There's punches going. Is he
Joe
able
goes.
to push him out?
Joe gets
no!
it! Joe
He
gets it!
pushes him out for 2 points.
Oh my God! 2 seconds
2
left
seconds.
on the clock. Joe gets Padua's 1 foot to go off. Clean separation.
Oh my goodness.
Falls to the mat and doesn't go off himself. Unbelievable. It doesn't get any closer than that, Tony. Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching, you have just seen one of the most exciting fights
One of the most exciting
I
fights
have
of 3
ever
days
seen
of
in
competition.
Sanda. Absolutely. Wow. Joe hanging on by a thread. Look here. We see the replay.
He tried
Joe
to hold
falls
on
to the
to
mat and oh my gosh.
He tried to hold on to the glove.